You requested that we watch the airplane episode of House MD, but I couldn't do it alone. Welcome special guest, Captain Steve. You ready to take this on?
I'm ready.
Let's get started. Beep, whoop.
Antique vintner's cane cost me $900.
It had a corkscrew in it.
Ah, that would explain the vintner's reference.
Could be used as a weapon against the pilot.
Oh, it's so interesting. We just had Noah Wiley on the podcast, and he collects unique canes just like that. Do you ever have a passenger come on with a cane?
Well, I've seen passengers come on with canes before.
But not with weapon inside?
No, hopefully not. The TSA should catch that. What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Yeah.
You know how much WHO accreditation means to the hospital?
It may have been short, but it had girth.
And the room service thing was just spiteful.
I was hungry.
$300 for a bottle of wine.
I was thirsty.
$120 on video services.
I was lonely.
Why do they load planes front to back?
So that's because people pay more for the seats in the front and they want to feel special. And it's nothing more than that. It's just pandering to that.
It feels so wrong. Like you're creating congestion at the front.
It's absolutely wrong. But you think loading from back to front is faster. It's actually not.
Really?
Because everybody that stops in the aisle and puts their stuff away, you have to wait. And then they sit down in the aisle seat first, maybe by chance. And then they have to get up when the next person comes in. It's actually from the outside to the inside, from the back to the front.
Ms. Cuddy, you're in the next cabin and to the left, 9C.
No, I booked 2 first-class tickets. This must be a mistake.
No mistake. Just arranged for a $500 fare reduction. Expense problem solved.
Did you ever watch the movie Bridesmaids? There's a flight attendant and she calls him Stove, even though his name is Steve.
Whatever you say, stove.
It's Steve.
Airplanes aren't very healthy. You're not moving.
Yes.
That creates stagnation of blood, leading to potential blood clots forming. You're usually consuming salty beverages or salty foods at the very least.
Do you know why the foods are so salty? When you go to altitude, your taste buds are not as responsive.
No way.
They put more salt in it to make the food taste better, like you're down at sea level.
No wonder like the fish tastes different.
Yeah, and blood pressure for pilots goes through the roof because you're ingesting more
And there's
sodium than you
radiation
should.
exposure.
Absolutely.
Do they have you do any kind of extra health screening things as a pilot?
Yeah, my aeromedical examiner looks at everything, and they do actually kind of track some of that stuff. I don't like to go to the max altitude I can. Every 1,000 foot, you kind of bump up your radiation
You
risk.
decide which altitude every time?
Within reason, yeah, I do.
Okay. So what altitude do you like not going there?
40,000 and above.
You're like that's enough.
You know what, I like to stay down around 36, 37.
I'm not Jeff Bezos. I'm not trying to get into the clouds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, are you all right?
He's drunk.
How do you make that diagnosis? He's struggling, clearly.
Is anyone a doctor?
Yes. I'll go get her.
I'll go get it.
Go get it. You know, that's the one thing I didn't think about. What if you're a doctor, you get asked that question, but you had 3 or 4 wines?
Well, you're still a doctor. It depends on who else steps up, and you don't know how many wines they've had. If I'm in the back of the airplane just as a civilian passenger and I've had a couple of drinks, it depends on how dire the situation is.
Fair. If there's a bee-nado?
If there's a bee-nado, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, now you have
You
experience.
can't let the 11-year-old show you up
Yeah,
on that.
exactly.
You gotta fly the airplane.
Fever, headache, severe abdominal pain, and a rash all over his lower back.
I mean, that's a broad differential. Could be a medication reaction, it could be an infection. You're even worried about multiple things happening at the same time impacting both organ systems. The fever definitely tells us there's some kind of infectious component though.
It's serious, maybe contagious.
Wow. We just attended a symposium on pandemics, and you run right into one on the flight home. Talk about a small world.
If it's meningococcus, half the passengers on this plane could get infected and die before we reach New York.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. We have a vaccine for meningitis. It would have to spread really quickly. While it is dangerous, it's not like, oh my God, everyone's dead. There's some techniques that we do on a physical exam that point to meningitis, including doing one of these movements, chin to chest. And if there are signs that there is potentially inflammation in the brain, you will see that person be very uncomfortable.
Is it like neck stiffness?
Yeah,
or is
it's rigidity and pain upon flexion of the neck.
We have to turn around.
What? Why do we have to?
We don't. Misunderstood. Dr. Cuddy just meant that he might feel less nauseous if he was facing in a different direction. She didn't mean to panic a plane load of people.
We're about to head over the North Pole. We don't turn back now. The next DR is 15 hours away.
Is that true?
No. So to dispatch airplanes like over the Atlantic or over the Pacific or over the polar cap, there's a thing called ETOPS, and it's regulated by how many engines you have, how many other operating systems you have on your airplane, like generators and backup systems, right? If everything's operating fine, you can go as far as 4 hours away. Most ETOPS flights are within 2 hours of an airport with an extension to about 3 hours. So there's no
15
place on the
hours?
planet where a jet is 15 hours away from landing. The longest flight I ever took in my 777 was from New York to Delhi, and that was a 17-hour flight coming back. So that's the entire flight.
Yeah, where
right?
you're flying over air.
So there's no place on the planet where you're 15 hours away, but it sounds
dramatic.
dramatic.
You haven't examined him.
Korean male, mid-30s, 5'9", 160, bald, scar on the right side of his jaw, medic alert, bracelet on his left wrist indicating that he is allergic to at least penicillin.
Without any way to do an LP or rule out meningococcus, our only choice is to assume the worst.
Forget about all of these other situations. Why not just avert? Like, he's clearly unwell. Why are they trying to diagnose him and treat him and do all this stuff?
Right, well, it looks like they're having this whole long conversation, and they haven't even told the cockpit that is what's going on.
They're leaving you out of the equation.
They're leaving me out of the equation.
Oh, my God.
On the other hand, I am a board-certified specialist in infectious disease. She assigns parking spaces.
Ooh.
Please let me know if he gets any worse.
While you're back here. By the way, no one told us his vitals. His heart rate could be 150. His blood pressure could be tanking. He could be septic.
Yep.
That requires landing in an ER stat. We have something known as sepsis scoring, whereas if someone has an elevated temperature, they have an elevated white count, they have an elevated pulse, and a source of infection, we call it sepsis. And they need to be pretty much hospitalized. In this situation, if he's truly with meningitis, he needs to be hospitalized. Why are they even debating it?
One of the things that people will ask is, what if there's not a doctor on board?
Yeah.
Right, what do you do? Like,
Oh, yeah.
we have a thing called the physician on call, and so I can make a satellite call anywhere around the world to a doctor that's waiting to ask all those questions that you just asked. Usually what I do is if there's a physician on board the airplane that's attending to whoever it is,
you
I
connect
put them connected with the doctor directly so they can talk that special language that you talk.
Sure.
Yes, and cut me out as the middleman because I'm trying to translate, but man, a lot gets lost here.
Very much so. Is it true that sometimes when someone loses their life on a plane, they sit that person's body next to another person?
Only if there was no other seats anywhere on the airplane. Now, usually if that happens, because nobody dies on an airplane. They're not pronounced dead until they're on the ground. And
Even if there's a doctor?
Yep. It's got to be a certain physician on the ground, and nobody dies in an airplane. Now, if they do die in the airplane, and it gets diagnosed later, obviously it would disturb the other passengers if there was a dead body, so you can take them and put them in the back galley, and that has happened.
Is that guy really sick?
No, he's all better.
I don't believe you.
Look that way,
Why?
because you're gonna throw up, and I don't want it on me.
How did he know? He's like a magician.
He is. He's a clairvoyant.
Give her a banana. Monkey see, monkey barf. You smell vomit.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I know the rash points us in the direction of the meningitis, but there could be also norovirus.
Food poisoning. What was on the menu?
Steak and sea bass in first class. Fettuccine and seafood kebabs in economy.
Since when does food poisoning cause a rash?
Sea bass, seafood kebabs. He had the sea bass. Please tell me she had the kebabs.
I think so.
Shigatera poisoning. It's an instant onset toxin.
I don't know why he's trying to make sure that it's something else for sure. He's not looking for the most likely cause.
Is this his house way of eliminating all of the other
Yeah, but
things?
that's not the right way to do it, because in healthcare, what we do is we create a list of things that it could be. We call that list a differential diagnosis. And at the top of that list is what we think is the most likely candidate, or whatever the most devastating, acutely problematic candidate is. So if someone comes in with upper abdominal pain that's radiating to the left side of their chest, it probably isn't a heart attack, but you want to rule out a heart attack, because if you miss that, that could be life or death. And when it comes to a situation like this, meningitis, that could be potentially infecting the whole plane and causing that person to lose their life, it should be at the top of the differential. Not, let's see what else we can throw up there to make sure that it fits.
Sounds good to me.
So he's having chills because his body's trying to create warmth to create a fever. The reason most people get sweaty when they have a fever is because they take something to lower their fever, like Tylenol, Advil. And when you do that, the body lowers the fever by sweating. And then when that medication wears off, in order to rebuild the fever, you start shaking in order to develop heat to raise your body temperature. And we do that because bacteria, viruses struggle at high temperatures, so it helps us better control. In a lot of cases, if you're a healthy adult, if you have no underlying issues, we actually actually say a fever could be a good thing.
Okay.
Obviously, in someone who has, let's say, a weak heart, just had a heart attack, you don't want to stress that person's heart, so you may control their temperature. But for me, for example, if I have a temperature of 101, 102, my body's doing its job, I'm going to leave it alone.
Good news is, all the pilots are red meat men. Although I was kind of looking forward to landing this puppy myself.
So you think he cannot land the plane himself?
0% chance.
Even if the pilots are guiding him nearby, because they're like, I'm sick.
Oh, if they could kind of talk him through it, they could tell him which buttons to mash, and the airplane could land itself.
True.
First class ate before coach. He digested more of his food before he threw up.
Or you're wrong, and we're going to start seeing neurological symptoms soon. Seizures, paralysis, ataxia.
I feel like this has now elevated to Rigers, which is like the more advanced version of chills, where it's not just a little bit of shaking, it's full-on writhing.
It's definitely ataxia. It's definitely a rash.
You gonna look at it for 5 more minutes before concluding it's also definitely a leg?
Thin leg. It's been in a cast.
So?
So it could be radiation poisoning.
From a broken leg.
From the x-rays they took of it.
What kind of radiation poisoning can you get from taking a couple of x-rays?
House. You're wrong.
Oh no. Why do they have to keep showing the vomit?
That's what I'm saying. If we don't get drugs, we're gonna have a lot of dead passengers.
Here's my question. How many people have to get sick before they communicate with the pilots?
That's what I'm saying.
And has anybody checked that the pilots are not getting sick?
Oh, because it could be an autopilot.
Well,
They could all
if
be
it's
dead.
just going through the airplane, why wouldn't the pilots get it? I think it's probably past that time.
A lot of apples. Not many candy bars.
Any antibiotics?
3 caps of Augmentin.
Not enough.
Patients. Give him to Pang.
He's allergic to penicillin.
The first aid kit has 2 EpiPens.
If he's wearing a bracelet that's highlighting his penicillin allergy, I assume it's severe. No one's wearing a bracelet to say, hey, I sometimes get a rash.
Right.
So,
or for fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it to him.
If it's not meningitis, we're risking his life and flushing meds down the toilet.
Do an LP on him.
What?
If it's clear, you win. If it's cloudy, he gets the Augmentin.
That could be a sign that there's pus forming and therefore it's bacterial, not viral. There's even something called aseptic meningitis where there is no bacteria.
Sounds like a plan. Oh, except for the part where we don't have an LP needle. Oh, and the shaking of the plane means I'll probably pierce his spinal cord and cripple him for life, but I mean, it totally sounds like a plan.
Is there something you can do that when you're experiencing turbulence, there's a mode you can turn on to just remove turbulence?
The only thing you can do is slow down. And it's just like if you're going on a bumpy road in your car and you're going too fast, you're going to slow down and you won't feel the effects of the bumps as much. You can only slow down so much.
Right, otherwise you start losing.
And then you just do it, but yeah.
I think we're crossing into the territory if this is going past Good Samaritan law. You're sticking a needle on a plane non-hygienically.
No fear of litigation
Yeah,
here
exactly.
or anything
exactly.
coming down the road.
I feel like this is now you're crossing that line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a passenger with a confirmed case of bacterial meningitis. If we land as soon as possible, passenger will not survive. It's very likely that some of you have been infected as well. As soon as you start feeling symptoms, we need to isolate you in the first class cabin. Fever, rash, nausea.
Is he showing that he can create those symptoms in people just by them thinking they have it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing here. Maybe people are looking for an upgrade, but that's no way to go about it.
I will say, like, if you plant in someone's head that they have a symptom, the chances of them developing that symptom is high. Even things like rashes, even things like nausea and vomiting.
In the late stages, tremor in the left hand.
I have that.
It's like that thing, if I tell you don't think about a white elephant.
I'm getting it right
What are you
now.
thinking of?
My neck's all stiff.
Imagine being a med student. You're reading about all these, you just think you have everything.
I'm sick.
So let me ask you this. As a pilot, do you feel safer or more nervous when you're on a plane as a passenger?
I'm a control freak, so I don't like being back there. I hear noises in the back that I don't hear in the front.
I will say when I was controlling the F-16, I felt more comfortable than when...
Yes, you'll get sick faster if you're not. If you start to get nauseous, the first thing they do is hand you the airplane. You put your hand on the stick and you fly it, and the nausea goes away.
Wow.
What do we do?
Break out the bubbly.
Yo, listen up!
Bad news is you have an illness. The good news is it's not meningitis.
This is Stockholm syndrome. He's got them here. He's gonna tease him. But pretty soon they're gonna be his friends.
Yes. This is an art that he's doing.
Look at my hand!
Yeah. Look at her hand. Shaking left hand. What is that a symptom of? Not meningitis. It's basically a symptom of nothing. Just put the idea into their heads and watch it happen. Same thing that Peng cruelly did with the puking and the rash.
The rash is in my head?
Your mind controls your body. If it thinks you're sick, it makes you sick.
I would still want more evidence before trusting him on this.
If you'll all just calm down, your symptoms will soon go away. And to facilitate this process, your flight crew will move through the cabin with a complimentary bar service.
The worst thing you could do to someone who's having an anxiety attack or a panic attack is to say, just calm down.
How did you know?
What? No, come on.
I came up with an alternate theory and I tested it. Couldn't have done it without you. Rage is a symptom of mass hysteria. Just one more thing to clean up.
Look at her face.
I know, she looks horrible.
He really is dying.
Yeah, I haven't the faintest idea why.
Can't the pilot get into contact with someone who can translate?
You could, but you'd have to let the pilots know what's going on. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that part of the show
Yeah,
yet.
exactly.
As far as you know, these guys are going to go 15 more hours while everybody dies.
Yeah, like, can someone check on them and make sure they're okay?
Yeah, are they okay?
What about syphilis?
Well, first of all, he apparently speaks a language that no one else speaks.
Syphilis could make sense because one of the treatments for syphilis is penicillin, and if he's allergic to penicillin, maybe that's why he has the band on.
We're flying out of Singapore. If he has a credit card and a condom, he can get anything he wants.
Ew.
Ew.
What?
He has an allergy to something else?
He has focal limb paralysis.
His legs got paralyzed by a condom?
No, by cocaine. It was inside the condom and is now spreading through his digestive tract.
Ew. You think he's a mule?
I think he's a jackass. We're gonna have to operate.
So he's saying that there's drugs that he's carrying inside his GI tract that now have ruptured. And they believe, I guess, there's an obstruction, and the drugs are spreading, and he believes that the condom is the receptacle by which the
And
drugs-
he's going around getting meds from everybody on the airplane. Why doesn't he just use the onboard medical kit?
Yeah, that's a good
It's got
question.
everything in it.
He doesn't want to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Okay, hold him tight. The faster we do this, the less likely he is to die of shock.
What? This is the most unethical episode I've ever seen in my life.
Tighter.
I hope he like throws up. Please don't cut into him.
Sorry.
Do that again. Ease off and then press down.
He has shoulder pain, clavicular pain, pec pain, I don't know.
Pressure on his joints relieves his pain.
Okay.
Wrong again.
What?
Scuba certification card.
What is he, the bends?
Get the bends!
He's literally diagnosed him with every condition. If I was as bad as Dr. House is, I would literally lose my license in a week.
You also have a receipt from Tikong's scuba rental dated yesterday.
Tell the captain to drop as low as he can, under 5,000 feet. We're at 38,000. Ping's got the bends.
Diving yesterday. Like an idiot, he surfaced too quickly. And like a bigger idiot, he boarded a flight which is pressurized to 8,000 feet above sea level.
If I go on a layover, let's say I go some place in the Caribbean,
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to go scuba diving. I have to take 24 hours off if I go scuba diving, and it's because of the difference in altitude. You will get the
The
bends.
gases will,
you could get the
will
bends.
come out.
Low pressure is killing him. Tell the pilot to dive until we can club baby seals out of the window. And get him some oxygen.
Finally, the pilots gets included.
Finally,
in
they're
it.
going to let him know.
They're gonna say, by the way, we thought we had meningitis. We thought we had alcohol poisoning. We thought we had mass hysteria. And we had mass hysteria, but we also had abdominal surgery nearly performed, a mule, and now we're on the bed.
So you're the pilot up front, and you're having a nice conversation. You just finished your Diet Coke, and you get this call from the back. Hey, I know you guys are at 38,000 feet. You need to go down to 5,000 now. And I'm going, excuse me?
Because we need to club baby seals or whatever.
Who's flying the airplane? Why? Oh, we've had this whole big medical thing back here, and you guys didn't know.
Your mind convinced your body to get a rash, photophobia, vomit. How do you know it wouldn't have shut down your cold, cold hard necks?
There is actually a stress-induced heart attack you could have. It's called Takotsubo's cardiomyopathy. All right, medical accuracy, I'm gonna, like a 1, because they used medical terms that were correct. Flight accuracy is probably a negative.
The flying part was the airplane was flying just fine, but they didn't tell the pilots.
They
What was
didn't
going
tell
on?
the
Nothing.
pilots. You said there's no such point where they're 15 hours from
No.
landing.
And then once they wrap it all up with a bow, the next scene is they're on the ground and they're taking
all
people off
fine,
the
yeah.
airplane. I thought they were 15 hours away from a suitable field.
House, you could have done better.
Yeah.
Speaking of unhealthy things people do on airplanes, click here to check that out, and definitely click on the description to check out Captain Steve's channel. As always, stay happy and healthy.